What is a Mason? I am.
Thank you, brother, for that kind introduction. My name is Jared, and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And this is the tie of our Grand Master in Mississippi and the What is a Mason lapel pin, both done by Edgar over at Masonic Revival. Today's viewer's question is a 4-in-1, and it is: what is the punishment for a Mason who manages to learn the secrets of a higher ranking Mason without being the appropriate level of Mason to receive the secrets? Say if a Master Mason reveals his secrets to a non-Master Mason, what are the punishments for both individuals? The one who has revealed the secrets and the one who has received the secrets. Also, a non-Mason who has received the secrets of a Master Mason, are they allowed to divulge their secrets if they have not taken a Masonic oath? How can you prevent such an event from occurring? The asker of this question seems to have gone out of their way to try to make sure all bases are covered and to make sure that the question is answered. I think the question we're really trying to find out here is, what happens to a Mason if they reveal the Masonic secrets? They go to trial. At least here in the state of Mississippi, they do. I can't speak for all jurisdictions worldwide, but I would like to believe that it follows a very similar suit. So, let's say a person, a man, a Master Mason, or whatever degree he may be, purposefully reveals the secrets that he was told not to. What happens? Well, somebody has to prefer charges against that man. Now, it could be the individual who witnessed it. It could be that that individual went to the lodge's complaints and offenses committee, and that committee prefers charges. Preferring charges just means that you accuse somebody of doing something that is going to be considered unmasonic conduct. So in this case, somebody would prefer the charges that brother so-and-so is guilty of unmasonic conduct for the reason of revealing such and such secrets. Then the lodge would decide whether or not to adopt those charges. So you can essentially make a claim that something happened, but if the lodge doesn't really believe that the claim holds water, the lodge can refuse those charges and they just go away. But if the lodge adopts them, then the lodge is going to go to a Masonic trial. During the trial, evidence is heard on all sides, and when all is said and done, a penalty is inflicted. What is the penalty of a Masonic trial? Well, here in Mississippi, you can find it right on our website. It's in our digest of laws, and the options are like this. We start asking the brethren what penalty is going to be inflicted in the worst possible way, and then work ourselves down. So, to summarize it real quickly here, you've got 4 different points. Either this man is going to be expelled, he will be suspended for an indefinite period, he will be suspended for a definite period, or he will be reprimanded. That's it. That's what happens to a man if he reveals the secrets. And I would imagine it depends on his intent and the severity on which penalty the lodge is going to actually opt to inflict. Some cases, they may decide to expel him from the fraternity. At other times, it may simply be a reprimand, which may be nothing more than a formal letter from the master of the lodge reminding the brother of his obligation and that he needs to be more careful with what he's saying or what he's doing. So, that's what happens. Now, to answer the other question that's in this is what happens to the person who discovers it. And Brother Brent Morris, I believe, is who I remember hearing once in an interview that he was in. I thought he phrased this very well. He said that he took an oath not to reveal the secrets. He did not take an oath to stop you from finding them out. So what is the consequence of somebody who's not a Mason finding out the secrets? Well, they're not a Mason. We have no jurisdiction over them. There is no consequence. I think that too often there are brethren who think that, well, it's all out there. It's all on the internet. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I'll stare straight into the camera and do my level best to look you eye to eye and say that I have scoured the internet looking for these things to see what actually is or is not out there. And if a Mississippi lodge is properly testing those that are looking to gain entrance into a lodge, if they are following our own laws to actually allow somebody from another jurisdiction or even someone claiming to be a Mississippi Mason into their lodge, if they are doing it right, there is nothing on the internet that is going to help somebody try to get through the door and gain admission. It's just not there. Period. End of story. Now, you may disagree with me. Maybe you found something I did not. But everything I have found is always missing some critical piece of information that would make it where if the lodge was doing its due diligence, the person seeking admission would be refused. So, no consequence for somebody learning the secrets. So let's simmer this down a little bit. Let's say I'm a Master Mason and I am teaching a fellow craft his fellow craft proficiency. And in doing so, I accidentally say something that's actually related to the Master Mason's degree and not the fellow craft degree. Chances are nothing's going to even happen to the Master Mason because it was an honest mistake. He didn't mean to say what he said. He wasn't providing it as instruction. He wasn't saying, hey, listen here, I'm going to tell you something about what's coming up in the next degree. It was just a slip of the tongue. It was an accident. And if no damage was done, so to speak, then it's going to be overlooked and forgotten. Worst case scenario I would foresee is that reprimand. Now, maybe your jurisdiction requires a harsher penalty for something like that. But for the fellow craft, there's nothing. The person who accidentally received that information is not going to be punished. Now, what if I am a fellow craft and I am purposefully attempting to learn the secrets that don't belong to me? Well, that fellow craft can go on trial too. And I think that's all I really need to say about that. It really does come down to the intent, and I think that as Masons, if we're truly learning the lessons that are being given to us, then we understand what is really meant by charity and benevolence and honor and duty. And when we put all these things on balance and compare them justly, then we can make those determinations of, hey, look, there was no harmful intent here, or there was a malicious intent here, and then we can judge accordingly. So, I hope that answers your question on what happens to a Mason, whether they accidentally or purposefully either reveal or receive Masonic information. And of course, with non-Masons, there's just no jurisdiction. About the only thing I know that can happen is that in Mississippi state law, completely outside of Freemasonry, Mississippi law would forbid anybody who is not actually a member of the Freemasons from wearing a Masonic symbol. That's about all it is. I believe there's some little $10 fine or something like that that goes to it. And it's not just the Freemasons. It's basically any organization like that, that if you aren't actually a member, but you are displaying a symbol in a way that would make someone believe that you were a member, that's a violation of that law. And that's it. That's the consequences there. Not Masonic secrets, but just displaying the emblem as if you were a member when you are not. So, I hope that that explains things for you. I'm sure at some point we'll have a whole video delegated to what Masonic trials actually are like. But for now, I hope that satisfies. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below. That is where I find the questions that I make these videos out of. I'm not making them up. They are, in fact, viewers' questions. I also want to thank all those who take the time to support What is a Mason, either through Patreon or by going to whatisamason.org/support and buying the various pins and challenge coins that we have there. But more especially to all of those who take the time to share the videos. We'll see you next time. Bye.